commandments, and then to his Son, who is our Savior, our shepherd, our master teacher, our high priest, ultimately whom the Most High used to reconcile us back to himself. So we thank God for his Son. Okay. Um, Without further ado, we are going to jump right into Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 9. Okay. Not a long chapter at all, but I'm going to probably go a few spots. Okay. All right. Not doing a recap, let's jump right into it. Okay. So Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, all right, chapter 9, and we're going to read the first 2 verses. Right. Be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against thyself. Give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. Okay. So starting off hot. Okay. A lot of men need to listen to this chapter. Okay. So be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom. Okay. We should not have certain spirit towards the wife, definitely of our bosom, right? It's close to us, and teach her not an evil lesson against thyself. So we have to be so mindful. I think it's so underrated when it comes to the world and the teachings, because a lot of times we don't understand as men how we're supposed to treat our wives and what they truly are. Okay. Um, so when we go into this, talk about the jealousy, remember how you treat your partner is how you ultimately treat and view yourself. Okay. So you want to treat yourself harsh, you should treat her harsh. Okay. You want to do stuff, you want to teach her a wicked, evil lesson or things of that nature, that comes back on you. All right. So I'm gonna just get I'll tell you a few things. I'm gonna grab one. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2. Okay. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2. It's the last book in the Old Testament. Remember, if you got something, beloved, bring it out. Please bring it out. Don't be shy. So Malachi 2, right? We're going to jump down to verse 13, right? Malachi 2, and we're just going to jump down to verse 13. And this have ye done again, covering the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping, and with crying out, insomuch that he regardeth not the offering any more, or receiveth it with good will at your hand. So we understand, or we should understand by now, right? We are still offering to the Most High. Okay, just because we remove the animal sacrifices don't mean that we're not offering to him. Okay, so we look at this going on. This have you done? So we ain't gonna go through all the stuff, but as always, as we're always messing up, start going away from the commandments, right? Things that the Most High require for us to do, and then we'll get, a beating, right? In other words, so covering the altar of Yahweh with what? Tears. All right. And we mess up, what's happening? Start crying. But listen, with tears and weeping and with crying out. Insomuch that he regardeth not the offering anymore, or receiveth with good will at your hands. So you're like, wait, why won't he accept that? They're crying out, right? And we got to understand that, beloved, just because somebody crying don't mean that they're sorry, okay? It don't even mean that they're going to do right after that. So the Most High does see this. A lot of people think, oh, well, we can trick him, all right? He knows it. The sacrifice was a manifestation of something deeper. But the Most High knew when we weren't doing those things right. So we never trick them. Even with don't the best apology they say is what? Change behavior. That's Bible. You want to show the Most High that you're sorry, that godly sorry, right? You going to have to what? Change your ways. Okay, nobody want to repent. Crying and not wanting to change is not repenting. That's not doing anything. The whole point, you coming to God and you saying, is because you want to change. If you don't want to change, then you don't want to serve the Most High God. It's very simple. Okay? You can go to church every week and all of that kind of stuff, but if you don't want to change, it's going to be in vain. Okay? But let's go to verse 13. 14. Let's see what's happening. Yet ye say, wherefore? Okay, wherefore? Because Yahweh had been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously, yet is she thy companion and the wife of thy covenant. All right. So yeah, man, getting our young ladies, right? We was definitely we had our land and everything, had things in order. You'll get that young virgin ideally, right? That'll be the wife of your youth. Okay. And usually you deep in love with your first, right? So you be deep in love. But a lot of times we will have sometimes definitely men will have that desire, be all caught up, nose wide open, and sometimes we'll what? We'll just start treating our partner wrong. And we think we can treat our partners a certain way, and what? God's still gonna be dealing with us. We still got the anointing, but I'm gonna treat her like crap. Mm-mm. Okay. He never say that. Okay, you can treat her like anything, and now the anointing still on you. Nope. He's saying, I see these things. And the wife of what? Like covenant. He see the covenant and how you're treating her. You made the covenant with God with her. So now you're treating her this way. You're not going at her. You're going at what? You're in violation with the Most High God, who you made the covenant with. This is why covenants are so important. You tie yourself with God. All right. Verse 15. And did not he make one? All right. We know she what? They become one. Did he not make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit. Okay. And wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. So the point, so to have two holy, righteous individuals, male and female, y'all know, right? Coming together. And then when they produce an offspring, it's supposed to be what? A godly seed. That was the intent. That's the plan of how it's supposed to go. Okay? Therefore, take heed to your spirit. Therefore, you better take heed to your spirit. Hearken. And let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. Okay? Can't deal treacherously with her. Right? So that is a command from God. I didn't tell you how we feel and all that stuff. We must always be mindful of how we treat our partners. Okay? Treating our wives. Sisters ain't going, we ain't flipping right now. I'm gonna keep it because he's putting it to wife in our bosom. All right. So it's just giving the guys a black eye. All right. So give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. Okay. So in other words, like giving your strength. Okay. Now we want to make sure with everything we have to understand the context with it. Is this saying we should love our wife with everything yes, we're supposed to do that because what? We're supposed to be one. That's the intent. But if loving, I'm talking about, understand what I'm saying? When you're loving and putting those things over the Most High God and what He tell you to do, that's when it's an issue. Never loving the wife, but if they're doing things or loving her has to violate the commandments of God, that's when it becomes an issue. Okay. So I want us to make sure we have that understanding as well. No, we are obligated. Love you. Can't love her enough. All right. But loving her now, she's saying, let's go and serve other gods. There's a law on that. Let's go serve other gods. You got to be like, nah, we ain't doing that. Okay. We ain't doing that. So be mindful of that. But I want to go to another spot. I'm not even going to go to that one. But y'all can look that up yourself. All right. It tells you I think it's might have been right for your youth. It might have even talked about your children. If they go and say, let's start serving other gods, you got to reject her at that time. And is that because you hate her? No, it's because you love her. People feel like love is you got to always do what the other person. No, right? I love you. I'm not going to what? I'm not going to contribute to you going off, right? Oh, you hate me because no, no, no. I love you. If I hated you, I'll go right down that ditch with you. All right. But no. Okay. So standing for God, doing those kind of things, supposed to be helping. That's how we help one another out. All right. What did I say? Psalms. I meant Proverbs. I'm sorry. Proverbs. If I said Psalms, apologize. Proverbs 31. Right. This is going to be a familiar passage. Okay. So 31, this is where the prophecy, remember the mother was given about the whole Proverbs 31. Very common verse. Chapter. So I'm going to read just verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor the ways to that which destroyeth kings. Okay. So if you just grab it here and say, see, you can't be loving a woman because you just go, no. Now, if you love the wrong woman, right, and you just go in there blindly, yes, that's going to hurt you. So don't give your strength to them. Don't give the thing. Remember, as men, you're supposed to be leaders. You're supposed to be doing what thus saith the Lord. Do not now give that strength and all those things you're supposed to give to God to her. Where it's going to what? Like I said, it's getting you what? Off the track, off what you're supposed to be doing. You don't give her that kind of strength. Classic example, Samson, right? Samson Delilah. Okay. Once again, he gave his strength to her. She didn't go, he gave his strength to her. And this is something that a lot of men do. This is something that Satan has been doing for years. Strong men giving our strength to a woman. They were all about, reading and being attentive to the classes and coming to church. And now they feel like, well, if I do that too much, I'm going to lose my partner. Okay. So we have to make sure, remember that strength, that things we get, we don't want to give that to where now it destroys us. All right. Because what? It says, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Kings will go, they'll fight armies, they'll wipe out people, they'll stay, but sometimes that woman bring them down. Okay. So what power? This is why a righteous woman is such a great price. A lot of times women, when you ain't walking in this truth, you are destroying your partner. But this is why Israel has the best when it comes to our women, because they understand the ways of truth. They know how to walk this thing. A righteous woman, can propel a man. Okay? They should not be a parachute holding them back. But man, we have to desire with, our spirit and our mind. Okay? Somebody have something? I thought I seen somebody go off mute.
Oh, Con, I'm driving right now. I just wanted to add our strength. You sing it every week. Yahweh, our strength, my redeemer. So that's our that's our true strength right there. That's what it's talking about. The things that pertaining to the Most High. If it's going to lead you into lawlessness and things of that nature, then don't give her that. But like Brother Mike said, it don't mean don't be loving and kind and gentle or anything like that. It's just, if this woman wants you to, do something like, something pagan, something, in paganism or, just something that's going to lead, y'all both into an iniquity or what have you, that's taking away your strength right there. I just wanted to add that out.
Job's wife, curse God and die, right? Nah, we ain't gonna sign off on that. Okay. All right. But there's been women that try to save some knucklehead men. Okay, so it goes both ways. So beloved, at the end of the day, we want to make sure we're definitely doing that because our strength is in our obedience. Okay, it's not in the muscles. Let's go to Proverbs 7. While we're in Proverbs, let's go to chapter 7. But our strength is in the obedience. Our strength is in our knowledge of God. Okay, don't give up your inheritance. Don't give up the thing that God has blessed us and anointed us with. Okay, to anything. I mean, it's using women right here, but to anything. Your children, don't use your job, anything that's getting you distracted from your relationship with the Most High God. Okay, and loving your wife is your strength as well. People don't realize that is your strength because that's in the commandments. It's a blessing. It's a beautiful thing when a man and a woman loving each other. All right, properly how the scripture says. I think it might be actually in Ecclesiasticus. So I think he said like 2 or 3 things. It's like, so beautiful. And that was one of the things. All right, when they're walking in an agreement, it's a beautiful thing, right? When one is not trashing the other and all that kind of stuff. All right, Proverbs chapter 7. All right, we're gonna go to verse 26. We're gonna come back here for the next verse, but let's get this right now. Proverbs 7, verse 26. For she hath cast down many wounded, okay? Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death, right? You don't want to be connected to this woman. You definitely don't want to be married to this kind of woman, okay? And we're gonna go back here, but this can be taken naturally, also a spiritual understanding with that as well, okay? So give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance, right? Things you got. All right, this is not saying you got to get a get a prenup. I'm sure there's somebody teaching that. This is the verse saying get a prenup. This is not saying that. Okay, but people will try to use anything. All right, verse 3. Verse 3. Meet not with an harlot, lest thou fall into her snares. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou taken with her attempts. Right? Let's go on to verse 3 real quick. Meet not with a harlot, lest thou fall into her snares. Okay, let's go to Proverbs, back to Proverbs 7. I was going to take you on a whole journey with some of this stuff, but I was like, nah, we'll just get to some of the points. But y'all can bring things out. That's why I say y'all can bring things out. I ain't going to want to overwhelm it with too much stuff. So this is Proverbs 7 and verse 5. That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. Okay, so this is not saying that you can't be a well-spoken woman. Absolutely not, ladies. That's not what that's saying, right? But her flattery, right? She'll captivate through the flattery of her words, using that to be like sweet honey. Okay, so men must be aware of this kind of woman. Okay, tell you all the right things, right? Pushing all the right buttons, and you so caught up on her words. Sometimes you're not even looking at the actions, the behavior, and the spirit of the woman. You're getting caught up on the words, and the word is painting this beautiful facade for you, and you don't even see the ugly reality of that person. Okay. And this is why I always tell ladies y'all on here, y'all have such a good importance because sometimes y'all can pick that stuff up right away. And we have to make sure we're not always in our little, oh, we're the man. No, we need to listen. Because a lot of times y'all pick that stuff up. But also, y'all can't be in y'all jealousy. It's one thing I pick up. You got to get out that spirit of jealousy because that's going to taint certain things. Some people just be mad because they look pretty or something. They look nice. They get attention. Oh, no, that ain't how we do it. But a righteous woman, she might get that discernment and pick that thing up. Right? She's not worrying about learning the word of God. She's just trying to get with you and do it like, right? You have to see those things. All right. So be mindful of one that flatters with her words. And sisters, for you, making sure your thing, the spirit God ain't just with words, right? Should be with power, not with words. Okay. So be mindful. People that flatter word, that goes vice versa. All right. Because there's some guys that will talk a good game, sisters, but they ain't about what they talking. But they will sell you a dream, even some in the truth. Shalom, shalom, sis. Oh yeah, blessed sister. Yeah, I ain't like the man of this world, and they give you all this kind of stuff, and they flatter you with words. All right. So make sure we're mindful of that. Okay. Verse 10. Let's jump down to verse 10 because we're not going to go through all this. All right. And behold, there met him a woman. All right. This is a nice little thing, but we're going to not go through it. Met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart. Okay. So when they talk about, oh, you can't judge me by what I'm wearing. Yeah, your clothes can reveal certain things. Okay. I'm not going to say you're full fledged, but we have to be mindful of our attire. Okay. Now, I ain't going to just say to start calling people old and everything, but no, you should be dressed in a certain way. Okay. Our beauty we know is in that covering of that meek and quiet spirit. But if you show it a certain way, then yes, that is off. You shouldn't be doing that. Okay. So can dress a certain way, right? The attire of a harlot and substance of a heart. But listen, I'm just gonna read verse 11 as well. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Don't that sound like some women, right? Loud. Okay, I ain't talking about you're gonna have a good time, you'll laugh, but just a loud, not walking in the quiet, unique spirit, right? Loud. And what? Stubborn. I ain't gonna do that. My husband, right? Y'all better be looking at this. That's not a woman of God. That's something you should not be trying to link up with. But it's the Bible telling you look out for this. Her feet abide not in her house. She's always in what? Everybody else's business. She always got all the news about what's going on in everybody else's household. And if you not wise, what you gonna do? You probably gonna run your mouth to this kind of woman. And this comes in brand of man too. There's men that's like that too. But this should not be, beloved. If somebody runs their mouth, they run their mouth. They don't care about the information. They're going to just spread it. Do not give your strength to that kind of individual. I don't care if you're going through a problem. Don't go to them. You go to God, you go to leadership, something like that. Do not go to them. Because when you get over it, right, or the situation gets settled with you, guess who's still running around and causing turmoil with it? This kind of woman. Okay. All right. But like I said, we're not going to go through all this. All right. Tonight, let's jump down to verse 23. Okay. Remember, because we talk about till a dart strike through his liver. So he's getting all captivated. This woman was saying all the right things and rubbing him the right places. And the man get all googly and all that kind of stuff. He let his guard down, all this kind of stuff. And then what? Takes advantage. Till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hastens to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Okay. This is when the man came home. However, just understand that this happens so often, beloved. Lower our senses. Stop worrying about walking in the spirit at all times. We get lax. And when you get lax, you open yourself, you make yourself vulnerable to attacks. All right. That's why we must wear the what? Whole armor of God at all times. Okay. And if we do that, we should be able to spot this kind of woman. Ladies, you be able to spot these kind of men. All right. So what? Meet not with the harlot, lest thou fall into her snare. So give me that example. Met with that harlot, right? She's flattering with the words, flattering with the eyes, right? And then when you get all laxed everything, that's when the attack happened. Samson, Delilah, great story of it. He was on it, right? Giving her the wrong stuff, but he couldn't catch that what? Why is she tempting me? I'm lying about my weakness, but why is she tempting me? Why is she trying to exploit that? That's the same thing we do. We give our strength to. Okay, so be careful, beloved. All right. All right. Verse 4 was use not the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. Okay. Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. All right. So remember, these things is dealing with wisdom. It's bringing collective things. All right. It's not saying you can't be around a singer, but listen, you have to be very mindful. All right. There's certain things that will entice the flesh. Okay. It's going to get into this, but there's going to be other examples definitely when we start reading through the chapter as well. But this is a big one. Use not the company of one that's a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. All right. When somebody can sing, beloved, is it captivating? Right? Or somebody playing the instruments, it can be captivating. And that music has a spirit behind it where it can what? Make you feel good. Sometimes when you're feeling good, right? That person might start what? Looking enticing. All right. So don't be caught up with those kind of things. And we see this. We got the natural aspect, but even spiritually. How do you see a lot of these I always say so-called churches and places of God. Usually they have what? Some good music. You so caught up on the music aspect, and that music ain't wrong per se, right? But you so caught up on that and the music making you feel good that you're not even listening to the message, right? So they slip in that sin, they slip in that stuff right in there. You're like, man, I had a good time. Sometimes you don't even know what the message was. They just told you a bunch of lies, but that music made you put you such in a mood you didn't even feel it. Okay, so be mindful of these things. Okay, don't mean you can't find a sister that can sing. Not saying that, but you just be mindful of these kind of things. All right, because a lot of us we might have some people fall in love with the singing. All right, and they truly said, "I do," and I want to be for the singing. It wasn't for the individual, and then they woke up to what? A nightmare. Gaze not on the maid, all right, that thou fall. I'm sorry, fall not by those things that are precious in her. Okay, so once again, desiring, be mindful what you look at, what you desire, what you're connecting to, because you can get set up. All right, you can desire for the wrong thing. That's what the desire for the wrong thing. And I think Job, and one of them said, I made a covenant with my eyes. All right. But Job had it's like I know it's like the first verse or something, I believe, one of the chapters. But you got to with all these is given a words of advice. Yeah, it's actually Job 31. I found it. I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think of a maid? For what portion of God is there from I'm sorry, for what portion of God is there from above, and what inheritance of the Almighty from on high? All right. So basically, also we have to be mindful of what we desire. Okay. A lot of people feel like because I desire it, it's good for me, right? Things that, that make you feel good, they don't always are good for you. Okay, a lot of times when you think about it, a lot of them are usually bad, all right? Right. So just like, certain things that taste good to you, a lot of us, right? You think about those things that taste good, well, they're terrible for the body. Okay. So don't be enticed on how they look and they decorate it, right? They can make it so appealing. You look at the commercials, right? And they got that fast food, and they got that burger hitting there, and you see the juices coming and they throw the cheese all nice and that, right? And you like, I gotta have that, right? So you have to be careful not to be taking in those attempts. Okay, you gotta have temperance on these things. Verse 6. Did anybody get off of mute to say anything? I'm sorry. Did anybody have something? Sure, if I did something. Okay. We all good? Okay. Verse 7, verse 6, I'm sorry, verse 6. Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thy inheritance. So once again, it's now being specific on what kind of woman this is, a harlot. Okay. And you have to think about it. Not just the title, we say the harlot, it's a mindset, it's a spirit that a harlot has. Okay. Her mastery and studies how to entice men. Right? Make them feel good that what? The more they make the man feel good, the more he's what? Willing to give of himself. She's gonna build an art on that. That's what's making her an harlot. That's why she knows the things that's what's going to entice the man. Not that the man be right. Remember, she's not going for that. She's going for what entices that she can see. So it's the spirit behind things, but remember the law is spiritual. It's the spirit behind these things that's being revealed. Okay. So give not thy soul into a harlot, all right, that thou what? Lose not thine inheritance. Because I tell you, it says, man, he will give everything. Okay. If he feel good, feel like he's satisfied, she's satisfied, he's giving basically everything, opening everything. All right. Look in the scripture, you'll see things where a man he's enticed by a woman, he'll get up dang near half his kingdom. Right? We seen said it was it who said it? We're dancing with in front of who I forgot what the king was now. Um, but that's how John the Baptist got his head taken off. Right? She danced for him.
Herod.
Here, right there, yeah, okay. I'm like, it's missing me, right? But yeah, he offered half the kingdom. He danced for him. What do you want? Even half the kingdom I can give you. right? And we'll have men that they'll lose their wits over a woman. All right. Now, what I haven't seen is a woman offering half of her can't get anything for a man. All right. But a man will do things like that. He get captivated like that. All right. So this is why men, we have to be so disciplined in this thing. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary place thereof. All right. So he's looking around, just wander around. All right. Don't be that person. Okay. A lot of times you get yourself in trouble. Verse 8, turn away thy eye from a beautiful woman and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. Okay. There are scriptures for this. I took them out, but the point, because the point should be there, right? Be mindful how you desire. Because like I said, it's nothing wrong with seeing a woman that is single and saying, okay, oh, she's attractive sister, okay, blah, blah, right? And you keep it there. But you're going to have to do some intervening before you see the quality of what she is. All right. Some brothers look and put she looks good. And you start forcing her to be righteous. So you what? Because you'll justify your decision. Right? A man think he's clean in all his ways. He'll justify why that's just this is their first. She only been in this thing for 3 weeks. She don't even know all the things that's required. And you full-fledged want to this thing we have to be mindful of because we will justify it in our head. Okay. So look at that. Don't sometimes you have, let me let me stop. Don't let me be lusting and drooling all over. Okay. So get into that aspect. Look not upon another's beauty. All right. Why? Because they've been deceived by the beauty of the woman. All right. The deception coming because you are just invested in how she appears, how she make your flesh feel, it gets you butterflies. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Right. But once again, she can be full of dead men bones. Okay, so be mindful. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. A lot of times she destroy you from all that lust that would burn inside of you. Okay, so once again, the scripture is focusing on you need to get to know that individual, right? A virtuous woman, okay, is not just the outer appearance. That's a spirit in them. Okay, and a secret. When they virtuous, it actually makes them more beautiful. When they're doing those things, it makes her way more beautiful. And the righteous man can appreciate that, ladies. But a wicked man don't see those things. But you want that to push away those wicked men. All right? But a righteous man, he will understand your worth. He will understand he can't find you everywhere. Okay? But there's a lot of brothers that have beautiful nightmares. All right? Beautiful headaches because they got caught up and deceived by the beauty. All right? And not from the spirit. The spirit should attract them. You got to be one with that spirit. So that's what got to be the main focus. Verse 9, sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thy arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine. Lest thy heart decline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. So once again, very big warning. Okay. Got somebody's wife being around you, y'all over there, he gaga, getting all close, and then you add wine in it. What do wine do? Once again, makes you feel good. When you feel good, you get you start losing certain things, so now you're not disciplined. All right, it's definitely not those shoes. But this is what happened. How many times do you see people dealing with somebody that's married? And a lot of times it didn't start off that way. Sometimes they didn't have that desire. It's true, they could not have that desire. Start laughing, right? Start drinking a little bit. You start feeling good. She start feeling good. And nobody got the discipline. You'll get right here. You see it all the time. All right? Fellas, what's one of the things? You got to make her laugh, right? You want to get her to laugh. You at the bar, you give her some drinks. She thought you was ugly, but now you start looking cute the more drinks, right? All these kind of things. It's the same thing. All right. What you got, sis?
When I read this or when I hear this being read, I think of First Thessalonians 5:22.
Five. Was it 5:22 that you were referring to? I'm sorry, I kind of cut
Yes,
you off.
that's correct. 5:22. Yes, sir.
All right, so we have 5 and First Thessalonians chapter 5, and we're going to verse 22. Abstain from all appearance of evil.
That's it.
Right?
That's it. Like, don't put yourself in situations where it's suspicious or even looks evil, Um, when it's out of decent, it's not in decency and in order. So it's like, what are you doing? But every time I hear that, and that's with anything um that we do, just abstain from it. Just don't put yourself in that situation. Don't, because people can look upon it and it may not even be nothing, but just the way it looks, it don't look right. So, but yeah, that's that. I digress.
No, it's a good point, right? And we know it's a broad thing. We say abstain from the appearance of evil, right? But well, you got some people that just everything's evil. We understand that, but there's things we have to be so mindful of, like you said, sis. Somebody going through relationship problems, and they always with this married man and everything. They always hanging out and drink. It's looking like, all right, now what's going on, right? And you should even have that permission of that husband, even if you was doing something like that. But still, you need to be around. Okay, you should not be alone all the time. No, all right. You don't want to give room because this is what we're saying. This is dealing with this wisdom, right? This is how the devil these kind of things is where his mastery comes in that. All right. Go look at the bar. We did quotes on that. How many people did some regrettable things? What was usually involved when they're doing some regrettable things? Around the wrong person, right? Drinks coming there, and some people doing drugs, whatever, right? And they making these big mistakes. That's how you can avoid it. Okay. Everybody seemed good at first, right? You laughing with this other person, right? It's like, dang, you start to, I'm laughing, having a good time with this person, this married person. It's like, dang, and then you start, I wish my wife was like that. Well, I wish my husband was like that. Laughing, have a good time, right? He's not yelling. He don't be frustrated. He don't be. He looks at me and he looks at me as something special, right? This is the stuff we're saying working in it. You want to keep giving those kind of opportunities. Okay. So it's a lot of different fronts you can take it on, but this is why you don't want to do this. Okay. Stay away from this. Because this is one thing that destroys Israel is when everybody start mixing and dabbling and everybody start being adulterate, destroys it. Okay. So preventative measure. We don't want to do the proactive. All right. We want to get it before it becomes a problem, right? Everybody wait till it's a problem. Oh, then everyone comes here. Oh, we need to fix this. This is what happened. Listen, the fixing is getting not putting ourselves in harm's way, not tempting the Lord, not tempting the Spirit. Okay, so these are just certain things that we can understand and we can see. All right. So good advice. Good advice. All right, let's keep going. Good verses. Good verse. I wasn't definitely going to go to it, but that's a good one. All right. Kind of hard. So much thou desire, thou fall to destruction. All right. And that's where that destruction is. All right. You're going to fall into sin. Okay. You don't have to be somebody dying and everything. Sometimes it leads to death, like we did read before, but that destruction. All right. Verse 10. Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou should drink it with pleasure. All right. So don't forsake that old friend, that friend that been there. Okay. Now we understand what makes a friend. Okay, we're not going to all the scriptures, but you're supposed to try a friend, right? Some friends you picked up because y'all doing this, but some friends that we picked up in the world, we need to be cutting some of them off, if not all of them. Okay, if they're provoking you to do things against you, guys, you definitely need to cut them off. All right, because once again, that's tempting as well. That's just like this verse. All right. Because it's good when you're strong and everything going well, right? The congregation, the teacher, all right, I'm feeling good. So when they're saying something like, oh, here they go, they crazy. But now this one week, Brother Michael, one of the brothers said something that made me feel a certain type of way. I'm feeling down. It seemed like they be judging and like they do this and now you hear this friend whispering this stuff, and now he used to never hold any weight, but now it's feeling real enticing now. Yeah, you need to leave them church people thinking they know everything and they like God on earth. You know what? That is true because he's saying that stuff like, and see, get you right off. Once again, if you over there enticing, letting them have that you give them your ear, you are taking a chance. Okay, this is what the scripture. That's why the scripture be saying, all right, you stay away from this. You stay away from this. Okay, if you are not strong, and even if you are, no, let me take that away. Even if you are strong, see, strong people will say, I know this can be. I'm going to get away from the temptation. We people say, I can handle it. You know what I mean? People say they can handle something. And then you see them time later, you say, oh, dang, how'd they get that far off? Because they thought they could handle it. Then we read the verses, the passage back, it says, many strong men went to her. I might even have that, I'm not sure. But a lot of strong men. Oh, I can handle this. I got the Spirit of God on me and everything. I can deal with this. They be the ones that go far off. Okay? So be mindful. Believe the word of God. It's experience. You don't have to go through all these things. You can get the experience through the word. Okay? So an old friend, because what? For the new is not comparable to him. The old friend has time. You can get to know them. Somebody you know for sure that they can present themselves, right? Think about the relationships. Everybody seemed perfect in a few months, but after time goes, like I tell some of my clients, after time goes, you start to what? See them. That little mask facade they had start to slip off. Oh, I never seen this side of her. Yeah, now you're starting to see it. Oh, he really, oh my God, like he really yelled at me for some. Oh, yeah. That's the time. That's the things you need to be paying attention to. Okay. So it's not comparable to it. A new friend is as new wine. All right, new wine can be good. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure. All right. So if you look at it with wine, they even do it now, like when it's that old wine, right? The values go up. All right. It's more of a commodity, right? Oh, you got that old wine, you got that 1967, never been, it's like, oh, this is a rarity, right? That's how that friend is. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. All right. We did do a feast day. Actually read that Psalm 73, right? He got envious. That brother got envious of the sinner. And beloved, we look at it now. Sometimes you got to be careful. Looking at people, you seen their lifestyle, like, man, they got everything. I'm over here struggling. Right? So I'm looking like, man, I'm struggling to do what's right. Right? I'm doing this. I might be giving to my congregation. But look at them, man. They got 10, 20 times as much as me. And they ain't worrying about serving God at all. You start playing that song in your head, and eventually you start looking at it like, man, am I doing this? Is there a reason for me to do this? What's the purpose of me doing this? Serving God and coming to the classes and doing all these things. Look at all these people that's not doing it. Look at they got the newest cars. Their family look good. They go on vacations, and look at me. And you start questioning if God's real. Because you're like, God can't be seeing this. God can't be seeing this. How are they getting blessed? And that's when you start messing up. That's one of Satan's. I'm giving y'all. This is one of Satan's devices. Have you envious at the wicked? All right, but we know they don't know. We know the end of the wicked. Don't let them distract you. This is why you come to the house of the Lord, so you understand and you stay refreshed. upon their judgment. So you never feel persuaded to go that walk. Okay? Care how good it looks. It is destruction at the end. Okay? You don't see, first of all, you don't see everything. A lot of them going through a lot of stuff. They smiling. Don't let the social media pictures fool you. Sometimes they go through a whole lot. And they sometimes desire what you have, which is what? Peace. Perfect peace have them that love thy law, and nothing shall offend you. You know how you know the price on peace? People will give up everything they have, they can just have that peace that you have. And you got it for free. Okay. Let's go to oh man, I think it's Psalms. I think it's Psalms 37. Let's see. I want to switch it up, but you can look at Psalm 73 as a good example of it as well. All right. But I'm going to Psalms 37. Psalm of David. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the worker of iniquity. All right. Listen, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Why do we get envious? Because what do we fail to do? Verse 3, trust in the Lord and do good. So shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee desires of thy heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. These are the steps, beloved. When we start desiring the wicked, it's because we're not delighting ourselves in him. We're not committing our ways to him. We're not trusting in him. It's a you thing. It ain't nothing. Don't get caught. Distractions always been distractions. The only time it has power is because we start getting further away from our God. We start to put too much focus and looking at them instead of what? Looking at what the path ahead of us is. Okay? Which is fearing God and keeping his commandments. Staying in the spirit. Thinking about spiritual songs. Thinking about scriptures. Just talking and communing with God. When you stop doing that, then you're going to get distracted. And you're going to then get envious looking at them. Okay? So if you are starting to get envious, you need to go back to this. Trusting in God, delighting in him, and committing your ways to him. All right? Let's go back to Ecclesiasticus. I'm sorry, did anybody have anything? I did start just going. Oh, what you got, sis? Sorry.
No apologies needed. That was a great precept. I just wanted to land back. I know you stopped at a certain point, but the whole thing is nice. And in each beginning of the verses, like trust, delight, commit, and then verse 7, rest and cease. And that's like the perfect peace. But that just went to 8. But that's all I wanted to say. But great precept.
We'll read 7 and 8. Verse 7, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Yeah, that's good. All praises, sis. Thank you. Yeah, the spirit on y'all. Yeah, don't bring it out. Bring it out. Okay. But these are definitely big clues, beloved. Okay. All right. Where we at? Envy not the glory of the sinner, for thou knowest what shall be his end. So we should know all their ends, right? Of wickedness. This is why we're in this walk. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. But remember, they shall not go unpunished into their grave. Right? Don't delight in those ungodly things. All right, because we get attacked. We get a part of that wrath when we delight in that. Okay, and this is where I think is it in Romans? I think it's in Romans, but he's saying not a punishment just on those that do these things, but those that basically like you enjoy it and you're connected to it. Okay. Oh, I don't believe in that lifestyle, but my best friend is doing like you have to have that separation. Okay, because of that judgment stuff going, you can get connected with that. All right. Verse 13, keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. Okay, so being mindful who you attach yourself with. All right, whether it's a killer, remember, the killer he gets a certain definitely, he gets some death totals up. It gets easier for him to kill. Okay, and you could be the next one on the menu. You with a liar, yeah, you could be the next one getting lied about. You with a thief, you could be the next one to get robbed. Okay, so you need to keep yourself far away from this kind of stuff. I said, when you start reading the spirit, you start to see it. I shouldn't be dealing with the world, people like this. All right, unless I'm, trying to compel them to get in everything, but you gotta have your guard up with certain things. All right, we're gonna be in this world, right? I'm saying you have to have your guard up because at any time, these kind of things can happen. Okay, verse 14. As near as thou canst, guest at thy neighbor and consult with the wise. All right. Verse 15. Let thy talk be with the wise and all the communication in the law of the Most High. Right. So our communication should be what? Dealing with the laws of the Most High, how to do good, encouraging one another, lifting one another in God. That's the kind of talks and conversations we need to be in. And these things directly attribute to our spirit. If you talking about killing all day, what kind of spirit you going to start picking up? What's going to be on your mind a lot? You talk about how we should be going over there. You with the brothers want to, we need to sleep with this, just sleeping with everybody and all this kind of thing. What kind of spirit you think you're going to start picking up? All right, that's going to be consuming your mind. This is why your conversation need to be having righteous conversation. This is saying a lot, righteous conversation, because that trains the mind that this is what it is, and you will start to filter things. Certain things you'll be like, I don't want to deal with that conversation because it's not appealing to me. It don't attract me. And you'll see certain brothers and sisters, there'll be certain things when you get in this walk, that Bible conversation, you start itching. I want to be, I want to be part of that. But if you desire to run to the gossip and tear people down, and then when there's stuff about Bible talk and stuff like that, and see, that's a problem. Because you're hungry and thirsting after that kind of stuff. And you say, I can build the righteous stuff. Okay. So all these things matter. Verse 16, and let just men eat and drink with thee, and let the glory be in the fear of the Lord. All right. So you should want to communicate. If you eat and drink, you should do this with just people. All right. With the saints. That's a beautiful thing. For the hand of the artificer is two ways you can say that. The work shall be commended, and the wise ruler of the people for his speech. Okay. So once again, things that can be enticing or glorifying, edifying things. Okay. Verse 18. A man of an ill tongue is dangerous in the city, and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated. Okay. So we got to be what? Mindful of our speech. And James gives a beautiful illustration of that, right? Our tongue is a little member, but that thing causes a lot of problems. Don't cash a check, right? Don't let your mouth cash a check that your behind can't cash. All right. So being mindful of our words, because once again, beloved, our words is spirit. All right. And one thing to think about, when I'm saying and when I'm doing things, if God, because we should know God's watching this, right? Would he be pleased with this? Would he be pleased in this conversation that I'm having? Would he be pleased with the dialogue? Would he be pleased that, right? Start looking at those things. And you will see, because this is where we're at, your conscience will start to direct you. That's that spirit. You know what? I probably should stay with it. That's the spirit dealing with you. That's how the spirit talks to you. But you have to what? You got to put that conscience, that spirit in you. Say, all right, will this be pleasing to the Most High? Will God be approved? When you start thinking like that, then you'll start to it'll start to be, kind of always like, hey, I'm always being conscious of it. But then after a while, beloved, you'll just start walking in it. That's when we talk about walking in the spirit. You don't even think about it. You just move in a certain way. That's what you got to build yourself up to. Okay. And that's what the scripture for. It's building you up to be what? That perfect man of God or perfect woman of God. That's the intent of the scriptures. That's the intent of the laws and the commandments. All right. To build you up. All right. To be righteous and holy in the most high sight. And we can do it if we obtain to these instructions. All right. Anybody have anything? We close out. All right. If that will be all, we will close out there. All right, for our Wednesday night class. Those that are watching online through YouTube, say welcome, like always. And we say Yana Haba Thumb, meaning we love you all.